Hey there. Hi everyone. Welcome to another Beta Change Minisode. Today we welcome back Sara Mobäck, who will share with us more about food choices and diabetes. Now, Sara is a returning guest for our Minisode. You can check out her previous Minisode via the link posted on our comment section below. Since her previous Minisode with Beta Change, Sara has been receiving more questions about food choices and diabetes. So now I'm going to pass the time over to Sara, who will tell us more about herself and introduce herself to our Minisode viewers. Sara, please.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for inviting me to this amazing and positive community and to have me on board the second time. It's amazing. I have lived with type 1 for 18 years, and for most of the time, I've been using MDI, like injections, and that together with a CGM. I've been trying to loop, but I managed my diabetes better without today. I am. To explain who I am a diabetes consumer representative and a vocal advocate for ensuring the voice of the patient is here loud and clear. Today I have Sweden's biggest vlogs about type 1 diabetes, and I'm also a board member of Sweden's largest financier of research on type 1 diabetes. I do host some events and have my own project to show this positive side on being a type 1. And of course, to show that life with a chronic disease doesn't make your life miserable. Besides all these things, I also talk what is super common for people who have diabetes, and that is eating disorders. So I was diagnosed in 2016 with anorexia, and I talk a lot about how we people who have diabetes can believe in yourself, and trust your body, and that it's not impossible to actually have a healthy side on food and managing your own diabetes.
Okay, so very welcome back to our Minisode. And for those of us who are just joining on our Minisode, today we have Sara from Sweden joining us, and she will be talking about food choices and what she's be planning for today, this year's World Diabetes Day as well. So to all our viewers out there, even though if you are watching this after the live broadcast, feel free, if you are on live viewers, please feel free to join the discussion by using our Facebook comments. We can see them and we will show them on the screen for you. If you have any comments or discussion points, questions that you want to ask Sara. If you are watching this Minisode after the live broadcast, you can also input your comments in the comment section and we will reply accordingly. So, moving on to our first question for today's Minisode. Sara, there are so many different types of food guidelines out there. How can a person with diabetes make a decision on which food guideline to actually follow?
Yes, there are many guidelines out there, and I don't believe that there is one guideline for people who have diabetes. Like when it comes to what we eat or should eat as a part of our diabetes management plan, I mean, there's a lot of way through. For those who have had diabetes for more than a few years, like myself, it is highly likely to that guidelines will have been shifted. If not, I'll try change it directions. The food plan that was in for me when I was diagnosed, it isn't the same today. And I feel like, to be honest, I can't keep up with all this stuff, and it's not worth putting all the time of thinking of food so much. On my social media, I do share a lot of my on my like Insta story and my Instagram and my blog, of course. And I'm trying to like not get people the wrong side of what I'm actually eating, because I do want to give them a true side on who I am, and that life isn't like so monotone. And I don't go for any rules actually. And I will always remind that the focus on food and the constant striving for perfectly straight, unmoving CGM traits are surely contributing factors to why girls and women with type 1 diabetes are twice as likely to develop an eating disorder. And I do understand that the guidelines out there are based on best practice and evidence, but don't forget yourself and that our days are not lived according to guideline or checklist or evidence. I mean, think of that lovely morning coffee, or when your friend is have made this beautiful, delicious cake, or when your parents are cooking delicious food, or that late night when all you need is a piece of chocolate. So I think that the most important thing is to trust yourself, trust your body, and trust your life, even if you don't have a fully working pancreas.
Absolutely. I think I really, really resonate with your what you have just said, especially like in Singapore, where it's really like a food heaven where you can get lots of different cuisines of food and local hawker fairs and like neighborhood, like simple home cooked meals. There's like too many choices that you can choose from, and it's really,
Yeah.
really, really difficult to kind of have a specific guideline on which we want to follow. Although I know that there are people out there who are really, really religious in following whichever food guideline they want to follow. Yeah, but for me, I think it's really up to me and what I feel like eating. Although there
Exactly.
are days where I kind of bear in mind that I need to cut down on certain things. I know that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, life is all about food and to hang out with friends,
Yeah.
family, and you should be eating what you are needed in. If you
Yeah.
are into like pizza, or I have no idea what Singapore is having for food, but like having a little bit of each, like a balanced diet. You don't need to say no to
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. So ultimately, the word of the day is like having a balanced meal and eating
Yeah.
in moderation. Yeah. So, what are some of the challenges that you face about sharing food guidelines, and how do you overcome them?
When I first like when I hear the question, it is so many. I got so many questions through my social media about food
Mm-hmm.
and when I'm sharing, and some people are positive about it, and some people are not
Mm-hmm.
at all. But I try to actually share parts of my daily life in general. When I'm going to work, when I'm at the work, which is hard some days, and when I'm hanging out with my friends and family, and also trying to share parts where I'm actually eating. But with my history with this eating disorder, I am well aware that what I share, that I think that people don't get the whole picture of it. I mean, the reality can be misunderstood by those who actually follows me. But I try to keep a balanced division and about life and the food I'm eating. So I try to show all the parts that nothing is really constant. Like some days I eat pizza, some days I eat salad, and some days I eat like vegetarian, and some days I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to demonstrate that it is important to take care of your health and well being, that the blood sugar is a part of it, but it isn't like the whole picture because you need to feel good about yourself and your body and
Yep.
yeah, how you feel.
Yep.
And for me, it's for to eat like regularly is the best way to keep my well being like good and
Mm-hmm.
also my blood sugar.
Yep. Good.
Yeah.
So we have a comment from Fiona. Actually, Fiona is part of our Beta Change team, and she's right now in Boston, ISPAT. And a great shout out to Fiona. Hello, and thanks for joining us on our Beta Change Minisode live. And Fiona mentioned that it's an awesome point. Kind of totally agree that it's not about the flat CGM trace. I understand that Sarah, you use a CGM, and I have know that a few of us do use CGMs as well. There's a big community out there using CGMs. Even I myself use CGMs. Almost very often I do encounter parents, or especially parents who are trying to get their kids on a flat line on CGM, and sometimes I think it's not really like a healthy thing to do or a healthy thing to be chasing off after. What do you think about this flat CGM trace thing?
I think the first, I mean, it is good to have a like good managing about your blood sugar during the days.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was a few years ago, before I got my anorexia diagnosed, I think one part of me being this like unhealthy eating was that I saw that when I stopped eating carbs and starting to work out so much, I saw that my curves was like so straight, and I was like, oh, I can do my diabetes management without eating and work out a lot, just so I can show how perfect my blood sugar curve was.
Yeah.
But in the end, like today, I know that I my blood sugar won't kill me if it is a little bit higher some days.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you need to trust yourself and don't look at what other people are having for curves or for blood sugar. I mean, it's so individual.
Yeah, exactly. I really, really agree with what you said. It's really up to an individual. Like nobody can really, really achieve like a flat line. It takes a lot of effort to do that, and sometimes when you really want to do it, things goes out of hand, and you really have no control of how your numbers will go, and your lines may not be always perfect at all.
So
Yeah,
true.
yeah, so true. So
Yeah.
Katie has a question, which actually kind of links to our third question. Katie says, "How do each of us have fun with food or trying to stay balanced when you're traveling?" And this actually kind of ties in nicely with my third question that I'm going to ask soon, um,
Yeah.
which is like I understand that you've been traveling a lot and possibly enjoying all the delicious food that you have in each of the countries that you've been to. So how do you cope with all these food choices or portions or preparation methods? Which you
For
can.
me, yeah, I think I do love to travel and I travel a lot. Mostly here in Europe, actually, but I feel that the biggest problem for me is that I have celiac disease. So it's
Mhm,
so hard for me to get the gluten-free food and actually have food in general. But um, like today, I'm glad that there's more gluten-free alternatives, of course. But I see the whole picture because when I'm traveling, I'm trying to eat like I do when I'm at home here in Sweden. And that's a balanced diet. I eat a little bit of everything and I eat the things that would like to have. Like if I'm into pasta one day, I'll have a little bit of pasta. And if it is salad, I take a salad. And I'm trying to enjoy like all the new culture in the country I'm in. And I don't think that it's so hard. I think we need to like calm down a little bit. And if we want to have ice cream when you are in Italy or have this French fries, just have some and try to enjoy the food and see. I mean, it's so. I'm not sure what you are having for management, but I see like my CGM is my savior, so I can
mhm,
see when it's going up, and then I
mhm,
can calm down a second and see if it's going up a little bit more,
mhm,
and then maybe do some corrections.
mhm. For me, I am on the pump, but when I travel, I do use the CGM as well with the pump, and
Mhm.
it kind of allows me to keep track of how my activities and daily eating is affecting or is affecting my blood sugar, and it kind of gives me a good range of how much of how I should be coping with my pump settings. Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to food, I don't give chances. I really,
Yeah.
really enjoy food, so I will go all out to enjoy every single food that I have. But of course, when when you're out there traveling, you also have to bear in mind like uh, there is still also at the back of our mind. I'm still trying to plan my meal for the week or when I'm traveling or what, and ensure that I have a balanced meal. So I try to keep of course I do enjoy fried food and all the pizza and fries and everything, but sometimes you really have to balance it off with some greens or salads or even
Yeah,
some
of course.
lighter choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you are doing when you are home. Some days you are eating pizza or pasta or something, or some days you are eating like potatoes and some chicken. Maybe I'm not sure what your diet is,
Yeah.
but if you are eating, and I think you should keep the balanced diet even if you
Mm-hmm.
are traveling. For me, I'm feeling a lot better when I'm having these balanced diets. I don't feel good having like French fries every day or too
Yep.
much because my
Yes.
stomach is like freaking out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and to not like feel sick when I'm traveling, I need to stick with the balanced diet.
Yes. I mean, it's not just your stomach freaking out. Probably your brain is freaking out as well. And like you feel guilty at the end. Like eating too much of this fries. I need to stop.
And you don't want to feel like where's the bathroom when you are
Yeah.
like in
Yeah. Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
place you have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand that you have like celiac disease, so which means you need like gluten-free food. Um,
Yes.
and I also know that it's actually easier to get gluten-free stuff when you're in like Europe or US because they have a better understanding of what gluten-free the condition is. Do you have you faced any difficulty with regards to celiac disease when you are traveling?
Yes. Yes. It's getting easier because I think it's a modern like healthy lifestyle to eat gluten-free food.
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't believe that gluten-free food is better for people who actually can eat gluten, but for me who can't like eat like gluten, I'm super happy that there's more options for me to eat, and there's more often I actually get the like gluten-free menu in places, which makes me really happy. So I some days I can actually order gluten-free pasta and gluten-free pizza. It's not common, but it's getting better and better.
Yep. I think the awareness about celiac disease is actually improving, and I think even in Singapore, I have encountered a few cafes that offered gluten-free choices. I think which is good. So because if I'm not wrong, there has been an increased number of people in Singapore who have celiac disease, and it's in the past it's really really difficult, and nobody understood what gluten-free actually means. But I
Yeah,
do see an improvement now, and it's getting better and better.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
So yeah. So moving on, like putting food aside, we know that the month. This is already the 3rd of November, and we know that November is a big month for the diabetes community as we heighten the awareness of diabetes throughout this month with World Diabetes Day coming up, which is happening on the 14th of November. Do you have any plans that you have running up to World Diabetes Day? I heard you have something exciting going on.
Yeah, so this whole month is like fully booked and it's going to be so much fun. Uh, Today I had this photo shoot with my amazing photographer. Just yeah, so I'm getting all these like beautiful picture, like 100% related to diabetes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a few speeches, a few like next weekend
Oh.
in a big ferry. It's we are inviting people, children with type 1 diabetes, and trying them to like stay active and trying to have fun. and to not like sit in the like in the sofa and watch TV. So they are able to manage their diabetes while doing some activities and so on. And I'm of course raise awareness about diabetes through my social media and to be this advocate and to talk about the campaign that the foundation I'm the board member of. We have released this hashtag. It's called Blå knuten, and all the money that we are having from people. How do you say? It's going all the way to type 1 diabetes research.
Okay. I mean, like
And
donations.
of course, yeah, donations.
Yeah.
And the 14th of November, I'm invited to this huge gala here in Stockholm. It's the third time, and it's going to be so much fun. And I think it's the only gala, maybe not today. There's a few galas out there, but it's 100% for people with diabetes, both type 1 and type 2. And it's going to be it's a TV show, so you can see it live on the television in Sweden.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going. Yeah, and of course, raise awareness about the diabetes and eating disorder because it's getting more common.
Mm.
And
Wow.
of course, yeah, it's nothing about diabetes is more than just insulin and food, of course.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. It really sounds like you have a lot planned up for this month.
Yeah.
A busy month for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you have any more questions to our viewers, if you have any more questions, you feel free to pop in your comments here. Continue to add on to the discussion as you rewatch the video or you are watching it right now. We will just wait for a moment if there are any last questions that you would like to ask Sarah, anything about with regards to food choices, or you would like to collaborate with her, feel free to, drop her a message and she'll be happy to work up something. Yeah, I think sometimes it's fun to kind of work with people from other countries and get to know them to kind of understand what are different projects going on.
Yeah. What are you
Yeah.
going to do the Blue November and the
Oh.
14th?
Unfortunately, I'm not planning anything, but I will be supporting some of the World Diabetes Day events in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good.
there'll be yeah. So presents count.
Yeah.
Going down to show my support.
Yes. Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so that's all the time we have for today's Minisode. But the discussions you can still carry on, continue them on our Facebook comment section for this Minisode after the live broadcast. So you can stay connected through our website, Facebook page, or Twitter, and look out for any updates from the Beta Change team when you subscribe. So if you like to catch up on other Beta Change minisodes, like Sarah's previous minisode or any other of our minisode guests, or you're interested to actually find out who has been guests on our minisode, do check out our YouTube channel at Beta Change Network, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, that's all the time that we have for our minisode here at Beta Change. Have a great November and a great World Diabetes Day. Goodbye, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.